Okay, here we go. We're in the art and the generation where these press conferences have become all the more popular. When you have a great fight, you have two great fighters. Sometimes it's good to have a little chat before the two fighters meet in fight week. We're about 2.5 weeks away now, aren't we? WBC World Featherweight Champion Skye Nicolson so far looked fairly faultless through 12 fights. Takes on her next challenge in Sydney, Australia, in defence of her World Championship in 18-0. Tiara Brown of the United States. First of all, they meet here, though, on the press conference. Ladies, thanks so much for joining us this evening. Skye, let me come to you straight off the bat. Another World Championship defence back in Australia, but against Tiara, this was a fight I believe has been spoken about for a long time. It's a fight you wanted. How glad are you that we're finally here?
Yeah, I'm excited. The plan after the first two defences was to start collecting the belts, but that hasn't happened. We've got a great defense now in this fight, and yeah, I can't wait.
Tiara, a big moment, a World Championship fight. We know you're a great amateur, of course, but look good as a pro, 18-0, 11 knockouts, but this is a fight you've spoken about. It's a fight that's been brewing. How pleased are you to have this opportunity? What does it mean to you?
Oh, it means the world to me to fight for the WBC belt. That's actually been one of my favorite belts ever since I was a kid. I always knew that I would get that belt.
Have you two ever met? I have to ask that question.
No.
We've never met. It's crazy that we never met in the amateurs.
Yeah, we've literally never crossed paths, not in gyms, at shows, nothing ever.
Okay, and this is the first time you spoke as well, is it? In terms in the same place at the same time?
Yes.
Okay, well, I have to ask then, Skye, let me come to you first, because as I said, the energy has been good in the build-up to this one, aside from it being a great fight. Where has this back and forth come from? Tell us the story. How has this happened?
I think it started on Twitter a couple of years ago. I tweeted about I want all the smoke in the featherweight division, and I felt like maybe Tiara took that personally. I don't know, but she kind of responded with, "I'm the smoke. You can all get the smoke, whatever," and it kind of just went from there. But yeah, like I said, like I've never not wanted to fight Tiara. I think it's a great fight. I'm excited for the fight. And I think we're going to have a great fight. I think our styles are going to clash well. And yeah, I can't wait.
What's your version of events, Tiara? There was a big smile on your face there as Skye was speaking. How has this happened? Because it has built up nicely.
I agree. That's exactly how it occurred. Many people would like send me everything that she says. People would send it to me on Twitter. And I would be like, all right, well, let me respond to this, because for a long time, I just sit back and watch and listen what people say. I really don't care what people say. But a lot of people would say, I need to start, talking more. I need to be more, in tune with social media. So I was like, all right, well, let me throw my name out there. Let me get in the mix.
There was a lot of back and forth about finding pens and signing contracts. How easy was this fight to make? That's an open floor to both of you.
I think it was pretty easy to make. I mean, I know that my team wanted to obviously try and unify, but like I've always said yes to fighting Tiara. It's never been a question that we wouldn't fight. It was just going to be when it was going to happen. And I think since the Raven fight, it's been pretty much certain that we were always going to fight next.
You found your pen then, Tiara, in the end? I saw the video
yeah.
on the table. That was brilliant.
Yeah, I found my pen. Well, what really happened is I didn't know we got sent a contract. And I think it was because my team knew I was already preparing for a fight. So they didn't bring it to my recognition until the week of my fight. So then I'm like, okay, well, you could have just simply said that instead of having me find out last. I don't like that.
This is a question for you, Tiara. Do you respect what Skye Nicolson has achieved through 12 fights? You've called her a runner. You've called her a keyboard warrior. You've said that she's been spoon-fed. But do you respect what she's achieved? Where's that thought process come from?
And I still feel the same way. Everything you said that I have said, I still feel that same way. But yes, I do. I respect Skye. I respect everything she's done in the sport, not just amateur and pro as well. Boxing isn't easy. Boxing is something that you have to get up and you have to be dedicated. Not just 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. It's a lifestyle. So yeah, I appreciate everything she's done, and I respect her fully.
What do you mean by spoon fed? Can you elaborate for us on that one?
I think that she has been given the easy road. The fact that she fought for her first world title so soon, I just feel like she's been spoon fed. I feel that way, and that's just the way I feel. And I believe she feels the same way too, because on a comment she said she likes being spoon fed. You said that, right?
Probably.
Yeah. But I
feel
think
like
it's good. I think it's good for the fight, for the build up, for the media. You know, I think it's great.
I've definitely been presented opportunities and I've been blessed in that way, 100%. But it doesn't take away the fact that I have worked hard my whole life and I have trained very hard, and I've also put myself in a position to have those opportunities and take those opportunities. I've moved myself to the other side of the world. I'm away from all my family and friends. Like I'm not. I don't feel like I'm spoiled or like things have just been given to me. I've had to fight the best in the division. I've fought and beat undefeated fighters. Like it's not like I've been given the opportunity and not been good enough.
Do you honestly think, like, let's say I say you're spoon fed. Let's say the social media says you're spoon fed. Let's just be realistic. Do you honestly think that out of all the great women pioneer that we are striving to get, like, do you honestly think that you should have been the first female to fight on that card over in Saudi Arabia, over someone like Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, Clarissa Shields? Like, just be honest with yourself.
Yeah, I 100% like I want to see more women on those cards as well. Like I'm exactly the same as you. I have that same opinion. I'm not saying any female should have had it over another female. Everyone just wants more females on those cards and on those platforms. But the fact that Queensberry and Matchroom were working together, the world title fight was being made between Raven and I. Obviously, they were Queensberry and Matchroom were both working closely with His Excellency. I believe that's why that fight was made, but I don't believe like I should have been given that opportunity over someone else, or somebody else should have been given that opportunity. I just think for women's boxing, we were offered the opportunity and we both took it, Raven and I, because we want women's boxing to be on that platform. We want women to get those opportunities, not just me or just Raven. Or I'm still now constantly asking and pushing, why aren't there more women fights on these big events and on these big platforms? And the only way we're ever going to get there is if we all, as women, work together to keep pushing for that.
Do you believe Skye didn't deserve that opportunity? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't, because like I said, it's not about me. It's not about Skye. It's about a whole of the women that we are striving to be like. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, Clarissa Shields. We're striving to be like them. And that was an opportunity that one of those women deserved. Yes. And that is what I mean by spoon fed.
Skye, I went on Tiara's Instagram. It was fun. I must admit, I enjoyed looking through the various posts I've seen on there recently. There's photos of your face after the Olympic Games on a punch bag, amongst other things. Why do you think that is? You've used the phrase desperate. What do you think's going on here?
Maybe she's just a little bit obsessed with me. I don't know. No, I think it's building the fight. She's quite funny. I think we would actually get on pretty well. Maybe we will one day, but yeah, no, I get it. I understand. It's the build up. It's for the fight. I don't take anything personally. At the end of the day, everything that's said and done before that, we're both getting in there, and it's me versus her. There's no words after that. It's just boxing. So I take it all with a pinch of salt every time. I definitely don't let anything get to me personally. She's helping build the fight as well, and it's got more people excited about the fight, which is what women's boxing needs.
I take it you're the same, Tiara. I think, is this more fun than personal?
Yeah, it is more fun than personal. You know, my best friend, Raquel Miller, she's a boxer as well. She always tells me it's not personal, it's business, you know, and it's business. We got to get people more in tune with women's boxing. We got to get people to watch this fight.
I do have to ask, who can run further on a treadmill? I believe
I can run further. I can.
But I'm the runner and the track star.
You are. You're the runner. You're the track star. Because I fight. I like to fight. I don't want to run in the ring. I want to get busy. I want to get a fan something they want to see. But you can't outrun me. I have a scholarship for cross country and track. I went to college.
So she's the runner and the track star.
So I am, but I'm a fighter too. So
me too. I haven't really been in a position where I've had to really fight, and I'm hoping that our fight might actually be the first one.
Yes, I hope you go toe to toe. I hope you don't do the Road Runner, Sonic the Hedgehog. I hope you go toe to toe, because it's gonna be good.
We'll see.
Skye, how do you assess on paper the challenge of Tiara Brown? On paper, is this a harder fight than Raven Chapman? What do you see in front of you?
I think she's a great fighter. There's definitely no doubt about that. I have a lot of respect for Tiara as a person and fighter. I feel like I've been fighting at Tiara's level, whereas I don't feel Tiara has been fighting at my level. I think this is a much bigger jump for her than maybe it is for me. We are preparing for the hardest fight of my career, and that's what we're expecting, and that's what we're going into March 22nd ready for.
I spoke about this in the intro, Tiara, when I said Skye through 12 fights has looked fairly faultless, looked like she hasn't really got out of first gear. What makes you different? What can't Skye do against Tiara Brown that she's perhaps done in those 12 fights?
She's never had to switch gears, right? In any of her professional fights, it's the same Skye because no one has pushed her to have to go in that trick bag. But me, I'm the same way. Like in my professional career, no one has made me shift gears. I've been on my same tempo. What happens in the ring is what I allow. And so I know what she's going to try to do, which is utilize the ring because she's great at that. And I'm not going to allow her to do it. I will be switching gears. I know shifting gears, and this is going to be the best fight of 2025.
Right, I saw a quote from Shakur Stevenson recently, and he says he will look like that and make your best fighters look so average. Your favourite fighters look average. What's your? Do you relate to that in the sense when every fighter who's boxed you so far has told you that they're going to be able to close the distance, to find the shots, to make you fight a way you haven't before?
I make my opponents look bad. It's part of what I do. And I feel like from the outside looking in, it looks like I'm just not fighting very good opposition. But you see those girls in other fights against great fighters, against Michaela Mayer, against Amanda Serrano, winning rounds off these girls. And I don't feel like I get the credit for what I actually do, the way I take their strengths away from them and make them fight my fight.
For you, Tiara, aside from, I talked about the comments making, I think you did an impression of a face that Skye Nicolson does during interviews that you've made. You've made fun of all sorts. But ultimately, what do you believe will be the difference on March 22nd?
I've never given up. Never. I don't take days off in the gym. I get yelled at from my coach because I don't take a break because I know somewhere on another continent, someone is training. So that's why I train 2 to 3 times a day, every single day. And I know that Skye is really good at fighting her fight, making people fight her fight. But March 22nd, I'm going to make her fight my fight.
And if you can make Skye fight your fight in Australia, how does that happen and how does that end? Can you paint the picture for us?
I think it happens by, first of all, taking away her legs. I know she's in great shape. She's a champion. I know that she likes to utilize the ring. She's great at that. So I'm going to take all of that off. I'm going to chop her off at the hips down. And at the end of the day, they will say, and the new champion of the world, Tiara the Dark Menace Brown.
How do you beat her, though? Have you seen a version of events aside from what you just said? I've seen you talk about before in interviews about towels coming in and the fight ending in particular ways. What do you see?
I think it's going to be a great fight. Well, ultimately, I know that I'm going to be too much for Skye because I've trained my entire life, not just for Skye, I've trained my entire life to be number 1 in the world. I was number 1 in the world as an amateur. I had the world gold medal. I don't think she knew that because once in one of her interviews, she said, I've never done anything for the sport of women's boxing, but I was number 1 in the world when I was on Team USA. I won the gold in China at the Women's World Games. And I just think I'm a different beast at the end of the day. She hasn't fought anyone like me. It's going to be the best fight of 2025, regardless of the outcome. It's going to be the best fight of 2025 in women's boxing.
For you, Skye, based on everything that's been said in the build-up, what is this an opportunity for you to do on March 22nd? Silence
the doubters, mainly. I think that's the big one. I feel like I'm constantly doing that every time. I feel like I level up every camp, and this camp's been exactly the same. I'm excited for the fight. I hope Tiara brings more to the fight than my previous opponents have. I've been wanting a real fight. I've been wanting to show that there's more to what I can do than just what I have shown. And I feel like this could be the fight that does show that, and I'm excited for that.
How do you believe you make this look, though, Skye, when it all comes down to it? What happens?
I mean, it's hard to say. I thought Raven was going to give me a harder fight, and then it kind of was just the same again. maybe Tiara will be the one to give me the harder fight. We'll see. But I know I'm prepared for absolutely anything. I've got my bag of tricks. Do I have to put my hand in them? Maybe. We'll see. We won't know till March 22nd, but I'm prepared for war. I'm prepared for absolutely anything. I've trained very, very hard my whole life as well. And I just can't wait for March 22nd.
Do you like Tiara's energy, Skye, overall?
I actually do. And I find her really funny. There's nothing personal here. It's business. Like she said, we've both trained our whole life for this moment. We're both going to leave it all in the ring. And I'm sure we'll hug and have a laugh after the fight.
Yeah, this has actually ended up being quite wholesome, hasn't it? Really?
Women's boxing and all that.
Are you bringing the energy, Tiara? What can we expect from you in fight week? We're going to be there with you on the ground in Sydney, and we can't wait. But are you going to bring the same heat and the energy in fight week?
Yes, I'm gonna bring. Actually, I'm gonna bring more energy. I'm gonna bring the heat with me. I'm bringing the wrath of God with me, baby. My parents will be there, and so I'm just ready to show. I'm anointed, and God has set out this path for me. See, that's the difference between me and Skye, and me and anyone else. I took the long road, not by choice, but this is how God has laid out my life, and He's put me on this. He's put me on this platform to show that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And when everyone thinks that I will lose, I overcome because I have that force of God behind me, and He will be acknowledged on that night when they say, "And the new."
Final prediction: Skye Nicolson. We'll go to you both.
And still 13-0, Skye Nicolson.
And for you, Tiara.
And the new featherweight champion of the world, Tiara, the Dark Menace. And then we can go out and go sightseeing after, Skye, because I really want to find a kangaroo. Please,
I know. I've heard you want to ride a kangaroo.
I'm obsessed. Like, I have to see one.
We'll go see the kangaroos on Sunday, the 23rd.
All right. Oh, I'm gonna hold you to it.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
All right.
All right.
just finally, we can't do the handshake, obviously, on Zoom. But do we have a little final message until you two meet in fight week? Do you have a little message you want to say to each other as we end?
Train hard. Be prepared for everything. Be prepared for it to be harder than it looks from the outside. That's all I'll say.
Okay, and be prepared to fight. We're not gonna run. We're gonna give these fans what they came to see. You're gonna pull out the tricks out your bag. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna pull out the tricks out my bag. I'm gonna give you the best of me. I'm gonna give you the best of me. And you're going to give me the best of you.
Okay.
Right there in the middle of the ring.
We'll use the whole ring, but okay.
All right. Okay. All right.
Okay. Huge night coming down under, Sydney, Australia, March 22nd. A big fight in the career of George Kambosos, who meets Dale Jordan, of course, in the main event. But this one, do not blink.
The real main event.
The real main event.
The WBC Featherweight World Championship on the line between Skye Nicolson and Tiara Brown. This one very well may steal the show. We can't wait. Ladies, thanks for joining us. We'll see you fight week. That was a lot of fun. I didn't need my wooden spoon that much in the end because it was quite friendly, really. But it was fun. And we'll see you fight week. Thanks for your time.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you.
All right. God bless.
Bye.
See you soon.